Teachers, have you ever taken a student to court? For 10 years, I was a kindergarten teacher to a class of 6-year-olds, and the student stories were even crazier than you can imagine. Every year, there was at least one student who was convinced that, once pooping in the toilet, their poop was then washed by the toilet water. This meant they would fish it out with their bare hands and throw it at their fellow kindergartners. Another time, a kid brought in a tampon that she had fished out from their bathroom bin. It stunk up the entire room, and she told the class it was dynamite. All this meant I was very familiar with the explaining basic concepts to kids part of the job. So one time, when there was a little girl crying in the corner, I was the one who stepped up. I walked over, and in her hand she was clutching a Barbie doll whose head was detached from the neck. It had been a long day, so it was honestly very hard to muster up the patience to deal with what I felt was a trivial issue. So I took a deep breath, but just before I could say anything, another student came along. It was a boy. Now the boys usually make fun of the girls, so I was getting ready to, gently, shoo him away. But suddenly, his hand went into his pocket and he pulled out a roll of tape. The little girl gave him a puzzled look, and my expression matched hers. "It's not perfect, but we can still play if we believe it works," he said, and began taping the Barbie doll back together. The little girl began clapping her hands really hard before wrapping her arms around the boy super tight. My heart melted, and I even felt myself tear up a little. Then, out of nowhere, they started playing together. And the more I paid attention, the more I realized the boy wasn't even enjoying it. He was just playing with her to make her happy. And just when I thought things were good, they got even better. Because over the next few days, the boy was bringing in flowers, chocolates, and even pretty rocks he found for the girl. They'd play together every lunchtime, and he always let her choose what game it was, usually Barbies. At this point, all the other staff noticed too, and we were shipping them hard. And by the end of the week, during movie time, they were holding hands when he asked her to be his wife. The girl's eyes widened and her palms covered her mouth. She shyly looked down at her feet that were kicking back and forth before accepting and giving him a huge hug. A few of the boys were teasing him, but mostly everyone was clapping and cheering. And as I drove home for the weekend, for the first time ever, I was actually excited for Monday to come. Those two kids had restored my faith in humanity so much that I baked cookies, a cake, and even croissants for everyone. But during lunchtime, right before I could take them out, my entire body went cold. Because, as usual, they were playing with Barbies. But when the girl told him she wanted to play something else, his hand curled up into a fist. He drew his arm back, and it landed on her leg, hard enough for me to see and hear it. I immediately ran over, and she was too shocked to even cry. She just hid behind me. I asked him what he was doing, and he responded with, "I only did it because I love her, just like Daddy always says." My heart broke, and I gave him a very thorough explanation of why no one has the right to hit anyone. And when it finally sunk in, he started crying and told the girl how sorry he was, that he never meant to hurt her. I let them go back to playing, but my mind was racing. It was obvious that he had learned this from his parents, and I knew I had to do something. But the deeper I delved into the situation, the more I realized how dark the whole thing really was. I can't finish the story in this short video. The full video is on my channel and linked below.